So here we are, game number 1 of this best of 3. It's the finals of Go for SC2 Thursday. I'm Madals, and spawning down in the bottom right hand position, we've got the green Zerg player. Representing RB Pro, it is HaNfy. And his opponent up to the top left, representing E-Stars, it is WaKa. So a nice little bit of Zerg versus Zerg. Going to be interesting to see how this goes on down. Little extractor trick coming through from WaKa there. HaNfy going for the more standard route. Overlord on its way. Although that was an Overlord of 10, so he may extract a trick anyway. Just a vastly different timing of that. Overlord a lot earlier. So HaNfy didn't mean to extract a trick then, he just kind of had to do it. Doesn't really matter though. I think they both end up at very similar positions at similar times. It all gets very, very confusing. Yeah, it's minor differences. Minuscule. Anyway. What are these two going to be doing in terms of openings? Hatch first, pool first, gas first? All possible. Only they know. Looks like they are actually both considering going hatch first. Yep. Drone getting pulled for HaNfy. That's what he's going to be doing. HaNfy just got out of a ZvZ, of course. He was up against Ice-T. Lost game 1. Won game 2 and 3. Very nicely. You'll move in now. WaKa throws down his hatch first as well. He's about 10 seconds slower. Both of these two players are, of course, Grandmaster. So they are in the top 200 of EU. So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with each other, what kind of strategy they're going for. They did joke at the start that Go for SC2 is, of course, ZvZ training. Can't blame them for that acute little observation. Anyway, spawning pool's coming on down. Gas for WaKa. That's the first big difference between these two. The fact that gas is coming down for WaKa simply means that, well, he's just looking to be a bit more tech heavy. Probably going to be going into speed slightly sooner. The big thing to watch is whether or not that the drones stay in gas or if you pull something. He's actually at 4 of 3. That is a mistake. He does realize nice and quickly though, so it doesn't really matter too much. Meanwhile, HaNfy doesn't take any gases yet, so he's going to be falling quite far behind in terms of the tech. And that isn't necessarily a problem, depending on what this gas is used for. If it's for a Speedling, Baneling style play, it could cause some problems for HaNfy, because King Sejong Station is a really hard map to get that kind of two evolution wall off going on. You can go through here, but it's just a bit awkward, is the best way to describe it. So anyway, the gases all being pulled out. This could be a Speedling all in now. Speed is there. We should be seeing quite a lot of Zerglings anyway, regardless of if speed comes out fast. What can be seen? Okay, so WaKa hasn't actually come to check to see how many drones are down there mining. Looks like it's not going to be a Speedling all in. We've got more drones coming on through. Only time will tell though. Could still be. More drones are still getting produced though, so no, I doubt it will be at this stage. Just a defensive speed, but it is ZvZ, so Lings can come out pretty much whenever you want. Defensive move now, coming down from HaNfy. Throws down that Spine Crawler. Has he seen something to make him a little bit scared? No, I don't think so. WaKa moving out with a single queen, trying to go Overlord hunting. Not going to find too much. First couple of Lings coming on through now. But yet, a little supply block coming through from for WaKa. That's a bit of a shame. HaNfy able to pick up an Overlord. That's actually a really nice pick off. Early game ZvZ, if you can supply block your opponent, it's just beautiful for you. HaNfy himself is a little bit supply blocked. That's unfortunate, but quickly rectifies that with a couple of Overlords popping on out. He's up by 4 workers currently, but he's down on speed. Adding in 2 gases as well, so he is going to be able to get a decent amount of gas coming through. Speed just kicking in now for WaKa, whereas HaNfy instead going up for his Roach Warren. As well as WaKa taking his 3rd base. These two both being pretty passive at the moment. WaKa now takes the advantage just in terms of the drone count. May even get an Overlord here, but HaNfy has got a decent amount of supply free. We just need to add in some more Overlords quickly, otherwise he is going to supply block himself. Probably just lacking on lava currently, indeed he is. That Overlord frantically trying to escape. It's not going to. It can take a couple more hits. But every second counts that it survives. Down it goes. No supply block for HaNfy. Gets a couple more Overlords coming on through. His Roach One is finished. 2 Evo Chambers are there. And this is actually quite a unique way to get these Evolution Chambers in there. Putting them either side of that gas. Okay. I actually really like this as a way to wall off here. That's really smart. I've not seen it done like that before. I like it. Anyway, third base for WaKa. Nearly done. It's been seen by HaNfy, of course. HaNfy did have an overlord there. Remember, it died a couple of moments ago. He's adding in the 1-1 upgrades. He's got his Roach Warren. He does not have a lair, but he could get a lot of units out. Of course, that third base is going to be something that he's not too happy about. He doesn't really want WaKa having a third base done when his third base has only just started. Obviously, that means that you are falling quite a fair way behind overall in terms of the workers, in terms of the income, and just the saturation across the different bases. So, not something that you want to be happening. HaNfy able to keep up his third thanks to those queens. A couple of roaches coming on over too. The roach one has already been seen, so it's not like that's getting scouted in any kind of miracle way. Oneling goes down very quickly. Oneling able to scout down the lair timing. That's a little bit annoying, but again, it's not disastrous. No roaches yet for WaKa. He's just, I don't know, take that. No, none yet. Adding some in. He's also getting the +1 missile attack, and now that actually puts you pretty level. +1 armor doesn't do too much in roach on roach fights, but it does become very important once you start getting hydralisks in the mix as well, if you do. So currently WaKa not falling too far behind. He's actually ahead by 3 workers. He's had that quicker third base, so his income is certainly looking a bit more balanced at the moment. Overall in supply wise, WaKa is also up by a decent chunk, and that's actually really nice for him. Getting that big supply advantage could be a big thing for him. He's also ahead in the roach speed. Both players, though, sitting on 3 bases quite comfortably. Neither have really lost anything this game. It's like 100 and 300 resources lost, which is like an overlord, 8 lings for WaKa. Marginal losses at this stage of the game. HaNfy sending in 1 lone changeling. Gets sniped off, but it does allow this third base to get scouted. Sees the fact there's a decent number of roaches. Therefore can deduce that it's not going to be a Mutalisk style play. Doesn't have to panic too much there. Overall, WaKa's still up, just by a couple of supply points at this stage. They'll start to level out. Upgrade advantage slightly there for HaNfy. He's got actually quite a decent upgrade lead, about 25 seconds or so, so that's okay. He's also got the carapace upgrade advantage by a long way, although as I mentioned, in Roach versus Roach, that's not too important. The shots of damage doesn't matter too much, and that's because Roach attack speed is pretty low. So obviously it deals a lot of damage per hit, so knocking off an additional armor or initial point of damage doesn't make a huge difference to how that goes. We can move up there, not too much coming through. Another overlord potentially going to go down, that would be frustrating. Would supply block WaKa, but he's already got 3 more on the way, so that'd be fine. Roach on roach fight, coming on down. A couple of roaches actually getting picked off here, this is alright. Ooh, gotta be careful here, HaNfy. You could get surrounded. This isn't a fight he really wants to go for. He does have the +1 armor advantage, but the surround is good. The overall roach count is 28 to 36. WaKa is ahead in terms of the overall roach numbers here. A massive win for WaKa, and HaNfy is going to be in a huge amount of trouble here. I'm surprised he went for this fight. I think he could have actually taken substantially less losses retreating. He's going to be in a huge amount of trouble. Is trying to back away now. But is it too little too late? Both players have lost an equal amount of supply. But remember, WaKa lost more earlier on. Spine trying to get in position. The +2 missile attack is nowhere near finished yet. The Spines and the Queens trying to come on through. A Transfuse is available. Gets used. Going to buy a bit more time. Defender's advantage is there for HaNfy at the moment. WaKa pulling back. Still very tense. Overseer sees the fact that a 4th base coming on through for WaKa at the moment. HaNfy with the 2-2 upgrades nearly done. Neither player transitioning out of just this pure roach style yet. Instead, they're both just chilling here with nothing but roaches, pumping out as many as they can. WaKa still up in terms of the supply by around 20. But the upgrades are about to kick into HaNfy's favor by about 30 seconds. And of course, that +2 carapace hasn't even been started yet for the Red Zug. Still trying to keep close eyes on where these guys are going. Good spread at the moment from WaKa, who has taken a better positional engagement previously. Going now, +2 is finished for HaNfy. That makes quite a big difference. There's a +2 armor as well. Couple more seconds, 20 more seconds until +2 kicks in for WaKa, and this is going to be an overwhelming victory for HaNfy thanks to that upgrade lead. Really pushing through nicely. Takes down some of those roaches on the retreat as well. Nice pick-off. If we look at the resources lost now, HaNfy trading a lot more efficiently. About 1,200 less resources lost. He's also up in the work account, but he doesn't have a 4th base. That's going to be a little bit frustrating for him. He's adding in Tunneling Claws, though. Going to be looking to go for potentially some counter damage, look to try and push home an advantage. Both players sticking on this roach on roach style for now. Of course, all of this is all going very, very bold. The roaches trying to get into a good position. Can they actually back away? A couple more shots. Come on through. This wouldn't be a good trade for HaNfy at the moment. He can't get a good concave, so he'd have to be very careful at the moment. Up against this round, though, could go for a nice spot. Could potentially knock over that rock tower as well. Is going to use that just to block the distance. Not going to be able to crush any of those horrible roaches, but it would have been awesome if he could. I've never actually seen a rock tower like crush an army like in the Heart of the Swarm beta preview videos from Blizzard. They made it out that that was going to be a thing that happened all the time. I've never seen it happen. Up come the roaches. They're going to try and actually take the fight here. Quite a few out of position to deal with this small splinter force to the south. This is going to be a rough fight for HaNfy. He's got a better concave, though. He's also winning substantially to the south. He now has tunneling claws as well. That means he can back away from this. His fourth base will fall, though. He needs to cancel that quickly. Save as many resources as possible. Reposition now from WaKa. He just backs on out, trying to find a bit of a safe position. Moving on through. Where are they going to go? Fourth base for WaKa. Not really mining anything as of yet, but it exists. The gases could be very important. He's also adding in a couple of hydralisks. So that's where we start getting the difference. Tunneling claws compared to hydralisks. Well, it'll be interesting to see how it pans on out. Of course, the tunneling claws means that the roaches regenerate up a heck of a lot faster while burrowed. And they can also move around while burrowed, albeit slowly. Now, the downside to burrowing is obviously the roaches then won't be attacking. So it minimizes the damage output, but they heal up so fast. The important thing is going to be the Overseer, if there's detection there. So these roaches instantly spotted on their way through. They're trying to sneak through. Distract the main army, and this actually pulls WaKa back because a lot of roaches coming in from the side here. They're going to be trying to engage. It's 2-2 versus 2-1. The Hydralisk's not really making a mix here. HaNfy just closing up the distance. A couple of roaches distracting at the fourth. We've also got a few in the natural. These burrowed roaches have snuck on by, picking off a good number of drones. HaNfy has committed heavily to this. He's going to have to back away, though, to get to safety. The roaches, though, still dealing some nice damage at the natural base. They've been able to pick off 10 drones. Some nice damage being done. Still chipping away. A couple more roaches getting picked off. Third base is also taking substantial losses. WaKa has now lost 15 drones. Not the end of the world, but certainly getting close to it. You can see the edge. 62 to 47. Still these burrowed roaches being irritating. A few more unburrowing at this natural. The fourth base taking substantial losses. More drones getting picked off. It's down to 31 to 61. This is tough. WaKa is really starting to hurt for his economy. Loses his fourth. The fourth for HaNfy is now up. Admittedly, though, we did see WaKa get that fourth and maintain it for a long time. So he has already got a benefit from that. But he's in a very tough position now. 25 drones. His income is really hurting. 1,500 compared to 400. Minimum is 900 gas compared to 300. Not exactly the sort of position you want to be in. HaNfy also adding in infestors. Those spellcasters are going to be big damage dealers, locking down a lot of the army, preventing WaKa from getting the concave. But are they going to be out in time? They're popping shortly. None actually from this fourth base. That's a little bit frustrating. But again, HaNfy knows that if he just plays this safe, he wins. There's no way you can come back from that amount of economic damage. The fourth base really is the prize, trying to get protected. A couple of infestors are now popping out. A few spines coming through. Fungals could be big. They get a lot of the army. Already that is going to massively turn the tide. A couple of good fungals to the north as well. Still the fungals chaining on through. This is allowing the fight to the south to go exceptionally well. A couple of infestors up here as well, trying to fight up the concave. The Hydralisks adding in a nice amount of damage. The upgrades are equal, but here come the roaches from the south. A couple of Hydras as well for HaNfy now. Dropping down a single infested Terran. Not going to be able to do too much, but here comes the buddies. The beach ball party starting off. There's the GG, and after 20 minutes, HaNfy can take game number 1 of this best of 3 in what was a very closely fought first game.